Honorable Katumba to be the one speak to this, just a little, in a minute, why we need this.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I support that motion because this is a very critical road. If any of you have moves from Masaka, Mbarara and reaches Chengera or Mpigi at 5, you can spend 1 hour, 1 hour to come
and
from
Butambara sometimes when you're
Yes.
coming from Butambara.
From Mbarara to Kampala or from Masaka to Kampala, you spend 1 hour to reach Mpigi and you spend 3 hours to leave Mpigi to reach Chengera. The solution is to have this road network completed and then we shall have easy movement. This road does not only support that kind of movement, it supports trade. It's part of the northern corridor, where we are working with Rwanda and Kenya on the northern corridor to support our trade. So, Right Honourable Speaker and members, I highly appeal to you that we pass and we complete this project. It has been long overdue. I found it in when we took over UNRWA, but it's now time we finish it.
Thank you.
Of the Committee on National Economy on the proposal by government to borrow up to euros 188,180,000 equivalent to UAE 150 million from the African Development Bank, ADB, and euro 28.314516 equivalent to UAE 22,570,000 from the African Development Bank, as an additional financing for the construction of Busega-Mpigi Expressway.
As you are aware, I'm very sensitive on this road. It's my road, so it's near everywhere, including you. Right Honorable, and the Minister is right. Normally on a Sunday, if I'm to travel from Butambala, I have to delay and leave at midnight, because that's when I would be able to reach Kampala within the show. So I'm highly, but Honorable Minister, there are critical concerns. Right Honorable Speaker, I've looked at the unit cost of this road. If you are going to construct 23 kilometers, I know. The original kilometers were 23. Then they went to 27. Now, if you are going to construct 23 originally, per this cost, each kilometer was going to cost 53 billion per unit cost. Now, if you are to go for the 27, it will cost 45 billion per unit cost. Now, when you study the standard unit cost of constructing a bitumen grade 1 road across Africa, you are hovering over 2 to 3 million US dollars. Now, this is 14 million US dollars, way above what ordinarily passes. So what justification does government have to construct a unit cost, a kilometer of bitumen, whatever grade, at 14 million US dollars, over and above the normal average African cost of 3. This would be more expensive than Entebbe Expressway at this rate. 2, who is this planner that planned to spend 527 billion and ends up spending 1.2 on a project over and above what ordinarily passes? So what kind of planning went into this? Right Honorable Speaker, let's score this ministry. The committee has done a good job. Whatever I'm reading is in the committee report. On page 10 and page 11, they've given us a number of projects where we have approved the funds under this ministry. And on page 11, if you have a heart, you can breathe. you borrow? I will just mention a few. You borrowed in 2023, 295, I think these are $1 million. 2023, you haven't spent a penny. This is on page 11. Under the road called Upgrading National Roads Project, 295 billion, disbursement is 0. You haven't spent a penny as per. It's on page 11 of the report. Right, Honorable Speaker, they borrow 108, they spend 0. It is here. Right, Honorable Speaker, you read these zeros on page 11, where they've borrowed money and done nothing. And even under this project of Mpigi Express, Honorable Minister, you are my good friend, 113 billion. We've borrowed, we paid a commitment fee of $1.5 million on monies, and it's non-performing. And here you are coming to this parliament to give you an additional borrowing, stampeding us at this moment. With this rate of performance, how safe are we that this is not a ghost project that is going to take money, more and more and more money? What assurances can he give us that with this borrowing, this project too, the project is abandoned as we speak now? As we speak now, this project is not a going concern. The contract abandoned is there, nothing is going on, but we are approving additional borrowing at abnormal unit cost for whatever justification. So, Right Honorable Speaker, this is the road that takes me home, that will take me even if I'm dead. I needed it the other day, but at this rate, this parliament should move with a lot of caution and a lot of assurance from my friend, General Katumba Wamala. Generals execute missions precisely because any mistake leads to death. But this one, I don't know how it skips the eye of a 5-star general and is on his watch. That Honorable Minister, Speaker, we must treat this project as a case study of a failed project for which we are borrowing and borrowing and borrowing and borrowing to no end.
But Honorable, you have said you need assurances. Let him give you assurances before you conclude.
Yes, as I conclude, I want to question this parliament. And that's why for me I never borrowed the sentiments of colleagues here. Cancer, where people who are dying and we approve of abnormal things. And Right Honorable Speaker, I audited projects in Uganda, presented here to Parliament. The unity cost was a concern, consultancy fees were a concern, completion dates were a concern. None of the projects in Uganda is on schedule with all expertise. So this is the case study where we need to arrest a ministry. Right Honorable Speaker, they have borrowed 4.8 trillion. Look at that page, at the conclusion here of page 13. They have borrowed under the ministry 4.8 trillion. They have utilized 2 trillion. They have unutilized money borrowed 2.7 trillion. It is performing at 40%. So, General here has a case to answer before Ugandans why we should give him money, even if it's a project that takes me home.
Thank you. So now, colleagues, before I allow anything, I want to first call General, because they've said he has a case to answer. Yeah. Honorable Ssemujju, you wanted to add something before General answers, or you want to wait here?
Mr. Speaker, I use Masaka Road regularly. And I am concerned that the Mpigi Expressway has delayed. It's a nightmare. And I will do anything to facilitate the completion of that road. I will do anything. We will no longer go to visit our parents. You lose a whole day traveling a stretch of just about 7 kilometers. The issues both in the main report and minority report, they are almost the same, raising concerns that are also generally captured in the report on loans and grants. They are actually not limited to this particular project. Because they are general, I want to particularize my issues on this particular road. And I don't want to use the failures in other projects to delay this even 1 minute. That's why I stood up. I usually don't support loans because of the... So this particular one, so I think all we need is for government to commit. And the rest we can do investigations. If there are people who have exaggerated, we punish them. If there are people who... But also issues of construction, I'm not an engineer, and Mps Muwanga Kivumbi is a witness. The road between Seta, Kasangati, it was meant to be a smaller road. But along the way, and I want to thank the UNRWA at that time, they said it will be difficult to return and do compensation when people have put skyscrapers. So along the way, they changed the design to expand. Between, if you look between Charuwajara and Chira where they have done, I am very happy that the expansion happened at once. So that's what we want to hear from you, that you are not increasing the funding for the same narrow design. So if it has expanded. The minority report has a bit of a contradiction. So you want rates for compensation to be revised, but you don't want prices to escalate. I don't know how that will be achieved. Because you are saying the compensation. This is one other area where I have a problem with many colleagues here. One time we went to Bunyoro. There were supposed to be roads for oil and electricity. And the colleagues on the committee were the ones inciting people about compensation. Part of the problem we have in that sector is that, because look, you're going to spend 160 billion compensation. And we have established a very bad culture. The Honorable Katumba Wamala knows, in our area where he also lives, we have asked people to give land because they are the beneficiary of these projects. So I don't want to support any argument here asking people to demand for more compensation. At least count me out of that. Instead, I will ask people to give land for road construction. They are the beneficiary. So I don't want to incite them to begin demanding for more compensation. And all of you colleagues, wherever you come from, ask people to learn. I mean, why should we 167 billion compensation for a road that all of us are going to utilize that is going to increase the value of their property within the area? Maybe when this government that doesn't speak very well goes, we will go and speak to people to give land. Otherwise, we cannot continue. So the amount of money you require to compensate is what you also require to construct a road. So I want to ask, I'm sorry if I have taken, Mr. Speaker, I want to ask government to commit that the issues in the main report and in the minority report and what the Honorable Muwanga Kivumbi raised, we can list them and a commitment is made that they will be handled.
Thank you. Now, colleagues, I know this road very well because I was on the Committee of National Economy when we passed it. And really, I was also concerned on the issue of the cost to the extent that I said, no, I should even go and make a tour to see the progress of the works. And General, you can have a seat for a minute. And because you see, number one, that road is in a swamp. So I asked a question. I said, when you appeared before the Committee of National Economy, Honorable Migade, it was around 2016, around 2016-17. You said you are going to use columns. Okay? But now you are using, Honorable Bariko was with us, now you're fearing. You're fearing because it was around 14 kilometers of swamp. So which we had said they will go over. Because the cost of compensating, and because it's a toll road, the issue was we should maintain the other road. So we asked all these questions. But now, recently when I asked, I was told the cost of doing columns is ×3 the cost of backfilling. I said, so you mean these things change? But then the designs and Then, Honorable Minister, another thing we talked about, which I really want you to commit on, Honorable colleagues, which must be clear. We agreed that that road must feed into Kampala-Entebbe Expressway. So that when you come from that road, you don't just come and first rotate again the other side. You should feed in. Then there was also another one from Ndeba planned. Then this one of Mitiana. And we said it should be done in a way that they all feed into each other and the bypass. But I'm told, even with this one, it does not feed in. So I need really to that one to be also assured on this road. Very many issues, but it's a very critical road.
Right, Honourable Speaker, I want to thank you and I want to thank the members. And I hope that Honourable Ssemujju's intervention has been properly captured, because I think 90% of what I would say, Honourable Ssemujju has said it. But let me just respond to a few things. One is that originally the road did not have auxiliary roads. Now we have auxiliary roads, including some of the roads joining Mitiana Road, joining Kasanji side. So those auxiliary roads have added on to the kilometers. Secondly, because of the realignment of the road, the bridges which have been included are quite many. I think the committee visited and they saw this. And that takes a lot of earthworks and a lot of other engineering responsibilities. So all these added costs, and I totally agree with the Honourable Speaker, the filling a swamp is highly costly, because when you see the amount of hardcore which they are using, which have been used to fill that road, it's highly costly. It must be. But when you inherit, you take assets and liabilities, and this is one of the liabilities I took over as I took over UNRA. But I want to give put on floor that we commit to address all the issues which have been raised, both in the minority report and also the main report. But I also want to assure Parliament that this is going to be a toll road, so we'll be able to recover the money over time. It's not just a free road like any other. It's going to be a toll road, and also among the costs are the toll gates, because originally it didn't have toll gates. Now we have 4 toll gates which have been included, and the construction of those toll gates are part of the cost. The interchange, right, Honourable Speaker, is part of the borrowing, is part of this money we are borrowing. It's a very complex interchange which will be around Chengera to be able to get all these other connections linked together. The Entebbe Expressway, the Mitiana, the main Busega, the main road from the Northern Bypass. If some of you have traveled on the Northern Bypass while you are going to Entebbe, you can even miss your flight because of the problems there, especially as you enter into Busega. So all this will be treated by the interchange which is coming, and it's part of the borrowing, right, Honourable Speaker. So we have addressed those, and that will be able to unlock the gridlock at that. Thank you very much.